organizers for preparing this session and invitation to participate as one of the speaker. I'm glad that I can participate today's event that fits so closely to the activities of BIOEAST thematic working group on food systems. I make some introduction who we are and what we do. BIOEAST thematic working group on food systems set up under the BIOEAST initiative for knowledge-based agriculture, aquaculture, and forestry in the bioeconomy. This is one of the 7 thematic working groups within the BIOEAST initiative. We have 11 countries on the board. Representatives of institutes, ministries, universities. This thematic working group is coordinated by Polish Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development with together with two research Polish institutes. Our objectives are to provide strategic advice and support for food system research and innovation activities, mapping the research and innovation activities, generate discussions and develop a bottom-up stakeholders-driven approach for defining synergies and complementarities between the agricultural sectors and food systems of BIOEAST countries, mobilize partners and provide access to expert networks in Central and Eastern European countries, mobilize resources beyond Horizon Europe to implement research innovation policy framework on food system for future. Some examples of our activities: we prepare BIOEAST common strategic research and innovation on food systems. We actively represent our countries in debates on research and innovation for food systems, including policy science interface. We give input to the Horizon Europe program. And we provide actively a link between BIOEAST Food System Thematic Working Group and the SCAR Food System Strategic Working Group. And now I would like to invite Paweł, who will present our strategic and innovation agenda for our group.
Thank you very much, Justyna, for the introduction to the group. We are talking about the chances for the future sustainable food system development. We in 11 countries of the Central Eastern European Europe that we cooperate within the BIOEAST initiative. We debate on what would be our future strategic thematic areas like that are common, that can help like make our collaboration within the region, macro region, more smooth towards the making the food systems more resilient, more sustainable. So we, together with our colleagues that Justyna already presented, this is a group of researchers and the representative of administration. We try to find the good paths for the future research and innovation. So we are concluding our debates within the 4 main strategic thematic areas. The first is related to the sustainable food production, so we call it production side of the food systems. The second is the power information in the food system, so we try to focus not only like in addition to the production, to the other actors within the food chain. Another issue that is like the core issue that we build our debates upon is the state and the future paths of a development of a research infrastructure. So like the research, innovation, and the technology for the better investments for the future food systems transformation. And the fourth is promoting sustainable food consumption. So if we understand the whole picture of a food system, starting with the production and within the food chain, with the help of the research, then we have to focus also on the consumers. So those four strategic thematic areas are the core of the core topics of the.
Pavel, you are muted. Unmute yourself, please.
Oh yeah, okay. Now can you hear me? Yes,
Yes,
next slide, please. I will go through so this was the basics of the thematic areas. Justina, you will have to change the slides. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So I don't see that. Could you please?
Justina, you didn't change the slide.
Oh, thank you very much. So like the first sustainable food production, and we see a couple of challenges we would like to show you, because this is the good, let's say, background for our discussion. When we face the few challenges that we agreed that are pretty common for all the countries within the macro region, then we talk about the research topics and like the possible outcomes. What we would expect that all this brings. So I would like to present you those four thematic strategic areas in relation to the challenges, research topics, and the possible outcomes. So the first, sustainable food production. From the production side, we see the problem of a low level of knowledge and technology transfer in our countries. So when we concern the primary producers, we know that we need to collaborate better for the building the systems for the knowledge and technology transfer. And then we see also that our sectors are getting more innovative, but still are based on a more traditional model of agriculture. So this is also related to the use of a chemical fertilizers that we try to lower from the point of view of the whole food system. And then we see that the problem, and this is the huge issue, the need for the new management system for biomass collection, but also in the different relation, different aspects of food production, and then transportation and the packaging from the producer side. We also see the need for the new developments, new research and innovations. Of course, like among the challenges, we should mention the all side of the food related like the issues like the classification, presentation, marking and labeling. So like the tracking the food from the producer side. And of course the issue that is like quite common for each country, so the development of the short food supply chains, but also like the share of the organic and less intensive farming, which are I guess the key issue of the European approach to the farming system, so like the European model of agriculture. Next slide, please. And we see here the main research topics that we agreed all together. So like the one is ensuring sustainable food production by human and like the financial investments. So we see the need for like the very precise schemes for the investment for the primary production, but also like those schemes should help to avoid or to mitigate risk and the dependency of the pesticides. Those issues are also related to the one of the great issues in the building of a bioeconomy as a whole. So like in relation to other groups debating on other topics under the BIOEAST. So like about the promotion of the measures for reducing biomass loss and waste in the production. And this is also including the reduce of food waste and also the better use of the raw materials and also byproducts. And the last research topic is related to the preservation technologies. So like the environmentally friendly packaging, the storage conditions. So like the working on the food, long life of the food. And next slide, please. We'll talk about very briefly about the expected outcomes. So of course, we foresee that if we collaborate together and we use the available sources and the available funding schemes and the collaboration in the whole European Union will face the increased investments in like supporting farms, but also especially for the technological shift for the better, like more sustainable food production. So this is also related to the practices, production techniques, but also it will end up with the optimal use of a biomass. But also like the more connecting by the spreading the information, the farmers with other actors within the food systems. So also this includes the involvement of the owners and managements of like bigger and very big farms into the conversion processes. So also how to attract the big farms to be in line with the sustainable practices. This is also related and interrelated with the next strategic areas, which I will be mentioning in the next slides. But all goes to the direction of the sustainable food production and consumption. So this was the first one. The second core theme, which will be on the next slide, is related to the power and information within the food system. So this is related to the food chains. So what we see we see the lack of a systemic approach. In a systemic approach, like on each level, each actor and each firm, each actor of the food chain. So this requires also promoting the new business models. So like those business models that are helping to integrate the food chain within the whole values which are behind the sustainability. This is also the integration of and like the new and even more important right now the approaches to the different energy sources and energy consumption within the farming practices, but also on the whole value chain. Like all this should be we see also the problem that all this should be like put on the next level of the organization. So those integration should concern the digital development and like digital promotion of the digital approaches within the whole agri-food chain. So like, for example, like to measure, to monitor the productivity, like to make the value chain more efficient, but also to focus on traceability of the different foodstuffs and like raw materials. So this is like also the approach which are related to the organization. So for example, promotion of the hubs, helping to cooperate of each of the actors. Now we see that this is the problem of the like fragmented approaches. And the next slide we'll have the research topics. So, so like the research topics we are working on with under this strategic area is like the promoting sustainable food chains initiatives and green business models for food processing. This comes from this research topics come from the challenges we see. So we see the need for the cooperation of primary producers, and like when I was mentioning those hubs and like the digital integration, it would help the support the position of the primary producers, even smaller, even organic, the same and the equally to the big producers, to share the same information among the whole food chain. And this also would help to tackle the food fraud. This is like always the problem when it comes to the lack of the good institutional approach to the organization of the food supply chains. And therefore, the information hubs to connect farmers with and the primary producers with the consumers should also help to steer the supply-demand interrelations. So, like the good answer of the primary producers to the demand created by the consumers. So, in the next slide will be some expected outcomes. So, of course, we should and we will work within our research and innovation activities to propose tailor-made, adaptable regulatory and control solutions for decision makers. So, this is something that is we see that having the asset of collaboration in the BIOEAST, of a collaboration between the administration and the researchers, and also the practice, we can propose the better solution for the policy makers, like for the decision makers, to better design the policy. But this is for the future. But like new business models can help to increase the cooperation between the farmers, but also to give the full information to the consumers. And those exchange of information that like the producers better understand the consumers, and vice versa, that the consumers are closer to the problems and like how is the design of the production at the producer level for the consumers. This is again steering the better interrelation between demand supply within the food chain, and can in turn go into the increased farm incomes. So like the better adjustment to the demand from the consumers, but also like the better adjustment to the local economic development, for example, by promoting the short food supply chains, or as one of the solutions. So this is the second one, and the third one related to the research. Next slide, please. This is like the research, innovation, and technology investments for future sustainable food systems. So where we see we need we still need a better data. The better data, the better technique of to model food systems dynamics, to see how does it change, how does it respond to the policymakers initiatives, to the policy, but also to the researchers. So if we are filling the right gaps, to have strategic area research helps us to be more flexible within the implementation of this strategic research and innovation agenda. So to see how we are doing with the filling the gaps, answering the challenges, and also helping us to, for example, build better modern educational framework, on the sustainable food use. For institutions, for consumers, but also for farmers. So like educating the people about what is the sustainable food systems about and how the transformation goes, what are the costs, and like to work on the acceptance of those costs. And then also we need to see more broader, so like as a researchers to see how is like what is behind the growth, what is like the plant defense system, what is like the role of the biodiversity in agriculture. So this is the challenges, and our research topics. Our research topics are related to the answering the challenges. So one of this is like the making a better observation system. So like the working on the new statistics. We all know that this is a big effort right now being done to build the new sources of the statistics to better address all the challenges. Yeah, but also like, for example, farm sustainability data network. Approach and different groups of the people working on how to find the new paths, or like how to better model the food systems, the dynamics, the agriculture, the climate change, but also how to better mitigate the risk, how to manage the risk. Also at the local level with the taking also under consideration the local dimensions, like the local circumstances. And also this is also related to the advisory services. So like the how to help to make AKIS better, better addressing the current needs into how to translate them to the new skills, new schemes for the farmers. We all have a different level of AKIS development, different institutional backgrounds, but the same problems of how to see how to help AKIS to be one of the main players to change for example the production side of the food systems. And of course, how to digitize the production, how to improve it by the digitalization in the agriculture and food sectors. And of course, like all other issues related, how research could help to better tackle the problem of the food waste, better like materials and so on, like how to use the biofertilizers and other issues. So these were the main research topics for this research area 3. Among the outcomes that are presented on the next slide, only few to mention is like the how to like the research should look to see for the new sources of the data, for example, and also education. So like also to see how could we find the new advantage of the social media analysis, yeah, as a like new source of the data. How to make the industry, especially food industry, more interrelated with the research infrastructure, not research they have within their own factories, but like how to help them cooperate to express their needs to the researchers at the research institutions. How to agree on the statistical data, like how to make the statistical data better, to be better comparable, how to make in this turn, how to make the better statistical analysis, and also how to make the more multidisciplinary approach. In education and training of a specialist. When we look at the food systems, this is like not only the agriculture, the packaging and transportation, but also interrelation of other systems. Of course, the one main is the health system. So we need to cooperate closely with the health system for the better results in education. And of course, this all should help farmers to make the better decisions of like what they use, how much they use of the resources, how do they plan their production. So this is like the whole research area and like research institutions, let's say challenges that we would like to address in our area. And the fourth, which is related to the consumers, because we see the consumers' awareness of the food quality, like the approaches, better approaches to the agroecology, like organic farming and short food value chains. There is a big shift of the consumer awareness, but also like process, the choices. So like the farms and like the farmers need to also answer to those approaches by the consumers. And this is also like when we see the problem that that there is still in our region. We agree that there is like it's quite low public awareness of the need to reduce food waste. Like people don't know how to, not only within the value chains, within the industrial approaches, but also from the consumer side. There is a need to work on increasing the awareness on the food waste, or like how to use the residuals and the food as a new source of the biomass. And like the one of the key issues is like how to increase the health, how to work within the food systems to help the healthcare system. So like we know about the food related health problems and how to avoid them, so how to educate people. So this were the challenges we noted. And now research topics are related to the main issues of how to influence the food, it's like itself. So not only based on the consumers, but how to include how to reformulate the processed food. So like how to set the maximum levels of certain nutritions and make it like the available and well known by the consumers, so they can be aware that and also so they can use those outcomes to monitor what they eat, for example. And then also this also relates to the interrelation between the consumer and the industry. So like how to make the good framework and like the easily accessible by the consumers and well-known framework for the responsible business, yeah, like for the responsible marketing. This is also relating to the marketing standards. And also, and then one of the most important big issue is like the educational framework for sustainable food use. So like how to convince the people for the shift for more sustainable diets. So like to go together, not only from the supply side by making the frameworks for the producers, and like the marketing and so on, but also for the consumers to be more aware and like how to make the shift to the more sustainable diet. So this is the main research topics. Of course, in those topics you see already the answers, like the expected outcomes and impact. So we need the good studies on the consumer perceptions in our region, like in the whole Europe. It is also, of course, going on, but within the framework, this is like the system. So this should be the part of the bigger system of a relationship between the production and like the consumers and the value chain. And then like the promotion, then the new social innovative initiatives, like so the connection between the consumers and the producers. Of course, the spread of information, like the new initiatives, are supported by the digitization of the technology, so like the platform hubs and so on. So we hope that it would help to better first like the analyze the new statistics, but also to map the countries and the regions, how to address the specific tools, answering the specific needs, for example, like the also in relation to the climate change, but also like the production let's say approaches in the different countries. And of course, the most important outcome would be how to influence the health, like the level of the health of the society. Okay, so this will be the four of our core thematic issues. The one which we would like also to mention is like the on the next slide we have also the cross-thematic issues. So those cross-thematic topics and hot topics, Justyna presented, as you may remember, Justyna presented the structure of the thematic working groups. We have 7 different thematic working groups working on the different aspects, for example, like the plastics, water, education, and like energy. So all those issues are cooperating and like the interrelating and like the need for the common approach. So therefore within the BIOEAST, not only we develop the approaches within the one thematic working group, but we try to find the paths for the good cooperation in between the specialists of the different topics. So not only countries, not only different sectors, but also different topics that all together create the bioeconomy. So these are cross-thematic topics we developed in collaboration with our colleagues that show also how important is the collaboration between the different thematic working groups. So we need the new education schemes for the consumers, for the farmers, for the food chain actors. We need a new management system for biomass collection. Biomass collection, this is like the one of the key issues because the BIOEAST countries are the big producer of the biomass, but also this help is a big challenge, but also big opportunity to use this biomass not only for the agricultural purposes. So, for example, as a source for the new bioproducts. Yeah, like the new solutions, new use of biomass. So we need a good management system to not to waste the biomass, but also like the make the good proportions between the different uses of a biomass to make optimal approach in this manner. Also, we find that there is a big problem, like big challenge of cooperation of the primary producers, also small and organic, to make them more visible, like more deep into the food chain, not to compete with the big producers, but to find the new value-added business models. But also to see and to help to monitor the transparent, to improve the transparency on the different levels. Sometimes it is easier to tackle the products when it comes for the bigger producers and their relation, the big chains. Maybe sometimes it is more hard for the small producers and the local short food supply chains. We have a chance to change this. Of course, another issue that is important for all the bioeconomy is like the issues of the food waste and the food fraud. Of course, we need the new data, new statistics, and one of the important is like not only the energy but also sustainable water management in the food value chain. with special regard to primary producers, which is like the one of the most challenging issues now when we are talking about the climate change and climate conditions for the agriculture production. And I guess this is all from our side about the approaches that we like plan to develop now and in the future, the topics that we are cooperating. And I guess the last slide is, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Pavel, and thank you, Justine.